very good morning. Today Monday, 23rd of November 2015. You are listening to Athavan.com. Today's paper highlights read by Edward Udayadas Devasagayam Pillai. Now let's move to paper highlights on Ceylon today. The top story says Jaffna life now normal. US Ambassador to the United Nations Samantha Power meets with Sri Lankan Chief Minister of the Northern Province C.V. Vigneswaran in Jaffna yesterday. Another highlights on Ceylon today. Defense Ministry to seek expert legal counsel. Defense Ministry has decided to seek legal advice to tackle issues that might arise when implementing the directives made by President Maithripala Sirisena to cancel all deals with Avangard. Karunaratna Hettiarachchi, Secretary, Ministry of Defense, speaking to Ceylon today, said they approached the Attorney General for advice in this connection. Another highlights, Power's Power. United States Ambassador to the United Nations Samantha Power plays the Sri Lankan bat and ball game called LA with Muslim girls at the Osmania College in Jaffna, some 400 kilometers north of Sri Lanka on Sunday. Power is the second member of President Barack Obama's cabinet to visit Sri Lanka in 6 months after Secretary John Kerry. And the highlights on Ceylon today, UK welcomes lifting of bans. The British High Commissioner to Sri Lanka and to the Maldives, James Darius, yesterday commended the Sri Lankan government's decision to delist some of the proscribed organizations and individuals. He added that this was a welcome step to facilitate dialogue and engagement. He tweeted that he welcomes Sri Lanka government's review of proscribed organizations and individuals, a commendable step to facilitate dialogue and engagement. In the highlights, 2016 budget, SLFP ministers ill-treated. Minister S.B. Disanayaka has called for a meeting of Sri Lanka Freedom Party cabinet ministers to address allegations that they have not received sufficient allocations for the ministries from the budget 2016. The meeting will be held at Disanayaka's residence today. Now let's move to Daily Mirror. Vehicle prices up from today. The unit rate for vehicles through the budget proposals and the new valuation system that were introduced recently would increase the prices of vehicles by 200,000 rupees up to 2.5 million rupees, the Vehicle Importers Association of Lanka said yesterday. Sri Lanka calls on remaining banned entities to renounce violence. Another highlights on Daily Mirror, meeting with Miss Samantha Power. Mangala says today Sri Lanka is taken note of by the world community. Foreign Minister Mangala Samaraveera said that today Sri Lanka is taken note of by the world community, not merely in terms of geographic positioning, but in terms of chances that have been ushered in by the people of our country. Another highlights on Daily Mirror says electricity telephone charges may increase. The Inland Revenue Department has indicated a likely increase in charges for electricity, telephone calls and hotel services, among others, with the increase in VAT proposed in Budget 2016. And the highlights on Daily Mirror. The Attorney General has filed a case in the Colombo High Court against a Supreme Court judge on charge of sexually abusing a woman. This is the first time such a case has been filed against a Supreme Court judge in the country. Now let's move to daily news. The top story says Vigis spells out concerns to Power. Northern Province Chief Minister C.V. Vigneswaran, during his meeting with US Ambassador to the United Nations Samantha Power, raised a number of issues concerning political prisoners, land rights and military presence in Jaffna. One of the main issues discussed during the 35-minute meeting was that of political prisoners. In the highlight on Daily News, currency smuggling bid by duty-free shop employee foiled. A duty-free shop employee attempting to smuggle foreign currency valued at 11.5 million rupees was nabbed by Air Force officers at the Bandaranaike International Airport, Katunayaka yesterday. The 58-year-old duty-free shop employee at the BIA, a resident of Natandia, was handed over to the customs. Another highlight on Daily News, boy electrocuted while switching water pump. A 15-year-old schoolboy was electrocuted when he switched on an electric water pump at a relative's house close to his own house in Mihindala, Anuradhapura on Saturday. Another highlight on Daily News, rugby captain died after being run over by police vehicle. Former Malayadeva College rugby captain Indika Daluwatha died after being run over by a police vehicle, investigations revealed. Daluwatha died following a motor accident last Friday afternoon. He was 31 years at the time of his death. Another highlight on Daily News. Commando parachutist Major MNPS Sanjeeva, 48, of 1 Commando Regiment added a new chapter to Sri Lanka's field of parachuting during a mini tattoo-type display of aerobatic at the passing out parade at Kudaoya Commando Training School on Saturday when he descended from a height of 4,000 feet holding the pet guard dog Tisha. Major Sanjeeva during his 20-year parachute career has participated in many international events, trade functions and other ceremonies after his parachute training began in 1995. The parachutist decided on this new record since no such sky drop had ever been reported carrying a pet dog. Dear viewers, thanks for listening to AthavanENG.com.